I was sitting in a therapist's office 6 months after I destroyed my entire family, trying to explain why I projected my wife's affair timeline onto a screen in front of 73 people, including my mother, who hadn't stopped crying since December, when Dr. Cross asked me the question I'd been avoiding. Do you think the revenge was worth it? And here's the thing nobody tells you about thermonuclear revenge. You don't get to know the answer until it's way too late. If you've got some time and maybe something to drink, settle in. This is going to take a while, so why did I wait 64 days between discovering the betrayal and executing the plan? Because revenge isn't something you just do. It's something you build, carefully, methodically, like a project with dependencies and timelines and risk assessments. And I'm very, very good at building projects. Here's the short version before we get into the details. I had a wife, I had a brother, I had a father's inheritance and a belief that family meant something. Then one Saturday morning, my wife accidentally added me to a Notion workspace instead of my brother. And I discovered they'd been planning to steal my life for 16 months. So I did what any project manager would do. I made a better plan. I executed it at our 5-year anniversary party. And I watched everything collapse in real time. The fallout was biblical, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start at the beginning, the real beginning, before the Notion workspace, before the screenshots, before I became the kind of person who destroys people systematically. My name is Daniel Hartley. I'm 30 years old. Well, 30 as of November, which is relevant later. I'm a senior project manager at a tech company in Portland, Oregon. That detail matters because project management isn't just what I do, it's how I think. I see life in tasks and timelines, dependencies and deliverables. If you're the kind of person who color codes their calendar, you'll get me. If you're the kind of person who finds that annoying, well, you'd probably like my ex-wife Rebecca. We met 7 years ago at Portland State. She was a junior, I was a senior, and she was everything I wasn't. Spontaneous, charismatic, alive in a way that made my carefully organized life feel small. I was the guy who actually read the syllabus. She was the girl who convinced me to skip class and drive to the coast at midnight. Our dynamic worked because we balanced each other. She pushed me out of my comfort zone. I gave her stability. At least, that's what I thought. We got married 5 years ago at a vineyard outside Portland. Small wedding, 50 people, nothing extravagant. My younger brother Alex was my best man. He gave this toast about how someone finally existed who could handle Daniel's spreadsheets and still love him. Everyone laughed. Rebecca squeezed my hand under the table. Alex hugged us both. I remember thinking, this is what family feels like. My father was there. Edward Hartley, 56 at the time, retired teacher, the kind of man who believed family was everything. He pulled me aside during the reception and said, "You chose well, son. She's got fire. Don't let it burn out." He gave us $20,000 as a wedding gift. I saved it for a house down payment because that's what you do when you're building a life, right? You plan, you save, you build something solid. 4 years into the marriage, we bought a house in the Alberta Arts District. 3 bedrooms, craftsman style, the kind of place Rebecca had pinned on Pinterest for years. I handled the mortgage, the inspections, the closing documents. She handled the decorating, the housewarming party, the Instagram posts about finally adulting. It felt like a partnership. Then my father died. April, 6 months before everything fell apart. Heart attack. Sudden. He was 61. I got the call at work. Linda, my mom, barely coherent on the phone. "Your father collapsed. They're doing CPR. You need to come now." He died in the hospital 3 hours later. I held his hand. Rebecca stood behind me, her hand on my shoulder, saying all the right things. "I'm so sorry, baby. I'm here. We'll get through this." His last words to me, whispered while the machines beeped and his heart gave out. "Take care of your brother and build a family?" I promised him I would. The inheritance came a month later. $250,000 to me. $50,000 to Alex. The split wasn't equal because, as the lawyer explained, my father believed Daniel will take care of Alex when he needs it. Alex was 25, a freelance graphic designer with big dreams and no follow-through. I'd already paid $60,000 for his college tuition, co-signed his apartment lease, hired him for side projects when he was broke. When Alex found out about the inheritance split, he seemed hurt, not angry, just quiet. I pulled him aside at the lawyer's office. Dad was right. Anything you need, I've got you. We're brothers. He hugged me, said, I know, man. Thank you. I thought we were good. 3 months later in July, Rebecca suggested we restructure our finances. Estate planning, she called it. If something happens to you, I need to be protected. We should put the inheritance in both our names. My financial advisor was hesitant, kept saying things like marital assets versus separate property and protection in case of unforeseen circumstances. But I overruled him. I actually said this, and I remember it so clearly it makes me sick. Every project has dependencies. Marriage is the most important one. I trust her. I transferred $250,000 into our joint account. Rebecca kissed me, told me, this is why I love you. You always choose us. I believed her. The cracks started small. Looking back, I can see them so clearly, it's almost funny. But when you're living in it, when you love someone, you explain things away. You make excuses. Rebecca started working late, 3-4 nights a week. Big client campaign, she'd say, coming home at 10:30, smelling like wine and apologizing for missing dinner. Our sex life tapered off. When I'd initiate, she'd sigh and say, I'm just so stressed, babe. Work is killing me. She became obsessed with Austin, Texas. Suddenly it was, the tech scene is so much better there, and we should think about relocating and imagine starting fresh somewhere new. I figured it was just daydreaming. Everyone in Portland talks about leaving Portland. Then she started texting Alex more. I'd see his name pop up on her phone. Alex, at weird hours. When I asked about it, she had an answer ready. He's thinking about moving to Austin too. I'm helping him research neighborhoods. It made sense. Alex was always looking for the next big thing, the next city, the next, this is where I'll finally make it, plan. And Rebecca had always been good to my family, supportive, kind. I ignored the feeling in my gut, that low-grade unease that whispered something's wrong. I'd been raised to believe doubt meant you weren't trying hard enough. So I tried harder. The night before my life exploded, Rebecca came home late again, 10:30 on a Friday, said she'd been at team drinks. I was in my home office working on a Notion workspace for our house renovation project. We were planning to redo the kitchen. She poked her head in, saw what I was doing, and asked, Hey, can you help Alex set up a Notion workspace for his design portfolio? He keeps asking me, but I don't have time. Sure, I said. I'll send him a template tomorrow. She kissed my forehead. We went to bed. She fell asleep immediately. I had no idea that was the last normal night we'd ever have. Saturday morning, October 12th, 2024, 8:47 a.m. I was sitting at the kitchen table with my coffee, scrolling through my phone, when the notification came through. Rebecca Hartley added you to Project Phoenix. The message below it, Alex, I added you to Project Phoenix. Let's finalize Austin timeline tonight. My first thought was, she added the wrong person. Muscle memory. My name comes before Alex's in her contacts. Simple mistake. Then my brain caught up. Why would she be adding Alex to a workspace called Project Phoenix? Why was there a heart emoji? What Austin timeline? I opened the workspace, and my stomach dropped straight through the floor. The workspace was organized into sections, clean, color-coded, the kind of structure I would have been proud of if it wasn't about destroying my life. The sections were labeled Timeline and Milestones, Financial Strategy, Austin Transition Plan, Daniel Management, and Post-Divorce Life, Daniel Management. I stared at those two words for probably 30 seconds, my brain refusing to process what I was seeing. Maybe it's a surprise party, I thought desperately. Maybe it's some kind of inside joke. Maybe, but I already knew. I clicked on Timeline and Milestones first. It was a Gantt chart, color-coded by person, Rebecca in purple, Alex in blue. And the timeline went back 16 months. August 2023. Initial connection with a note, first kiss at Alex's birthday party. I remembered that party. I'd been there, I'd bought the drinks, I'd taken the photo of everyone singing happy birthday. October 2023. Exclusive with a note, decided to fully commit. April 2024. Edward's passing, opportunity. They listed my father's death as a milestone, as an opportunity. July 2024. Joint account secured with a checkmark emoji. The date I put the inheritance in both our names. October 2024. Daniel's 30th birthday trip, final intel gathering. That was in 2 weeks. I'd planned a romantic weekend in Bend. She'd seemed excited. December 2024. Austin house deposit, $80K from joint account. February 2025. File for divorce, assigned to Rebecca. March 2025. Moved to Austin, assigned to both. They'd turned 16 months of lying into a project plan, with dependencies, with milestones, with deliverables. I'd taught them how. My hands started shaking. I clicked on financial strategy. It was a detailed breakdown, a budget, a target, total target, 250K as inheritance. Tualis 60K equity in house, your 310K. Current status, 175K in joint account. I'd already spent 75K on house renovations. Remaining tasks, convince Daniel to buy bigger house, increase mortgage, tie up equity. Assigned to Rebecca, due November 2024. Status, in progress. Transfer remaining funds to house renovation account, Rebecca solo access. Due, December 2024. Establish paper trail of Daniel's financial control, due to January 2025. There was a notes section at the bottom. Rebecca's handwriting, I recognized her phrasing. If we frame it as financial abuse, I can claim I secretly save money to escape. That's the Austin deposit. He'll be too afraid of looking controlling to fight back hard. Lawyer said this could work if we document properly. I read it 3 times. She was going to frame me as an abuser. I clicked on Daniel Management. This was the section that broke me. It was a master manipulation checklist. Every task marked complete. Keep him focused on work, less attention to home. Complete. Encourage late nights at office, more time for us. Complete. Support his family man identity. He won't suspect Alex. Complete. Use grief over Edward. He'll be conflict avoidant. Complete. Suggest Austin move as our dream. He'll research, get excited, won't question. In progress. Below that was a subsection. Document abuse incidents for lawyer. September 15th. Daniel yelled at me about dishes. The truth. I'd asked her to load the dishwasher. September 22nd. Daniel monitoring my phone. The truth. I'd asked why she was texting at midnight. October 1st. Daniel controlling money. The truth. I'd asked about a 300 Venmo to AJ, which I now realized was Alex. Every task had a comment section. Threaded conversations between Rebecca and Alex. On the Edwards passing milestone, Alex had written, I know it's fucked up, but this is actually perfect timing for us. Rebecca replied, I felt guilty for like 5 seconds. Then I remembered he never appreciated me anyway. And your brother's been controlling since day 1. On convince bigger house, Alex wrote, do the thing where you cry about wanting kids. He'll do anything if you mention kids. Rebecca. Already started, he's looking at 4-bedroom listings. The crying emoji. I dropped my phone on the table. My hands were shaking so hard I couldn't hold it anymore. That was the moment. Not anger yet, not even sadness. Just empty. Like someone had scooped out my insides and left a hollow shell that looked like me, but wasn't me anymore. Upstairs, I heard the shower turn on. Rebecca was awake. I picked up my phone, closed the workspace, opened my camera app and started taking screenshots. Every page, every comment, every timeline entry, every emoji. 47 screenshots total. I uploaded them to a private Google Drive. Changed the password to something she'd never guess. Then I created a new Notion workspace. I titled it Project Reckoning. In the header, I typed, every project has dependencies. Time to break theirs. Rebecca came downstairs 20 minutes later. She was wearing one of my old college t-shirts, her hair wet, smiling. Morning, babe. Coffee? I was still sitting at the table. I'd made more coffee on autopilot. Made some already. She kissed my cheek, poured herself a cup, started talking about our day. Your mom's at 5, right? Yeah, 5 p.m. Perfect. I need to run some errands this morning. Love you. She left the kitchen. She didn't notice my phone screen. She didn't notice my face. She didn't notice that I wasn't really there anymore. I texted my best friend Owen. Can you come over? Emergency. Don't tell anyone. I had 2 choices. Explode right now and lose everything. The money, the leverage, the control, or play the game better than they did. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to yell. I was going to do what I do best, build a plan, execute it perfectly, and watch their world collapse in real time. Owen arrived at 11:30. I met him in the garage. Rebecca was inside, doing God knows what, probably texting Alex. I showed him the screenshots on my phone, swiping through them one by one. He didn't say anything for the first 10 screens, just kept staring, his jaw getting tighter. When he finally spoke, his voice was quiet. "Jesus Christ, your brother?" That's when I broke. I'd been holding it together for 3 hours, running on adrenaline and shock. But hearing Owen say it out loud, "your brother," it hit me like a freight train. I cried for the first time since my father's funeral, big, ugly sobs that I couldn't control. Owen just stood there, hand on my shoulder, letting me fall apart. I kept thinking about my dad's last words, I managed between breaths. "Take care of your brother," and I did. I paid for his college, I co-signed his lease, I got him jobs when he was broke, I introduced him to my wife at our rehearsal dinner, and I couldn't finish. Owen waited until I stopped shaking. "What do you want to do?" I wiped my face. My voice came out cold, flat. "I want them to feel what I'm feeling, times 10. "Okay," Owen said. "Then let's make a plan." That's the thing about good friends. They don't talk you out of revenge, they help you do it right. But first, I had to get through Sunday dinner, 5 p.m., my mom's house in Beaverton, the same house I grew up in, the same kitchen table where we'd had 1,000 family dinners. Linda, my mom, had set out pot roast and mashed potatoes. She always cooked for 4, even though it was just the 3 of us now. Old habits. Rebecca, Alex, and I sat around the table like we always did. Like nothing was wrong. I watched them, really watched them. They barely looked at each other. Too careful. When my mom asked Alex about his business ideas, Rebecca jumped in with supportive sister-in-law energy. "He's so talented, just needs the right opportunity." Alex smiled at her. "Thanks, Beck." Beck. When did he start calling her that? At one point, Rebecca's foot touched Alex's under the table. I saw it. They froze for half a second, then Rebecca shifted like it was an accident. My mom gushed about our upcoming anniversary. 5 years, you two give me hope. After your father, her voice caught. It's nice to see love still works. Rebecca reached across the table and squeezed my hand. We're just getting started, Linda. Right, babe? I squeezed back. Right. I excused myself to the bathroom and threw up from stress. When I came back, Alex was showing my mom something on his phone. Rebecca was laughing at some story. Everything looked normal. That's what made it so sick. How easy it was for them. How practiced. On the drive home, Rebecca was chatty, energized. Your mom is so sweet. I love how she treats me like a daughter. I kept my eyes on the road. Yeah. I've been thinking about the anniversary party, she continued. I invited 70 people. Higgins Restaurant, remember? You said I could plan it. Yeah, it'll be perfect. Are you okay? You seem off. Just tired, work stress. She rubbed my shoulder, the same shoulder she'd touched when my father was dying. This is why Austin will be so good for us. Fresh start, new energy. I wanted to crash the car, just end it right there. But I didn't, because they didn't get to win. That night, after Rebecca fell asleep, I went to my office and read everything again. Every comment, every task, every timeline entry. I found a shared photo album titled Our Real Life. Pictures of them together, at Powell's bookstore, at the coast, in Alex's apartment, clearly post-sex. One photo stopped me cold. Rebecca was wearing my grandmother's necklace. I'd given it to her on our 3rd anniversary. Told her, "You're family now." In the photo, she was kissing Alex. I punched the wall, felt 2 knuckles break, didn't care. Sat on the office floor with my hand throbbing and my chest heaving, and thought about my father's last words. Take care of your brother, build a family. I'd failed. The family was already gone. I just hadn't known it yet. For about 20 minutes, I understood why people don't survive betrayal. It's not the loss. It's the rewriting of every memory, every kiss, every "I love you," every Sunday dinner. All of it fake. And I was the idiot who believed it. But then something shifted. I washed my face, bandaged my hand, sat back down at my computer, opened Project Reckoning. Created the first task, secure all assets. Second task, document everything. Third task, build alliance network. Fourth task, plan execution for maximum impact. The grief didn't go away, but I finally had something stronger, a purpose and a deadline. December 15th, our anniversary party. They wanted to celebrate us? Fine, I'd give them a celebration they'd never forget. The next 8 weeks were the most methodical of my life. Phase 1, asset protection. Monday morning, I met with my financial advisor. Told him I wanted to restructure for estate planning purposes. Nothing suspicious, just prudent financial management. We created a revocable trust, transferred $150,000 of the inheritance into it. Rebecca couldn't touch it without my signature. Left $25,000 in the joint account, enough that she wouldn't notice right away. Moved the remaining $100,000 into a business investment account that only I controlled. Rebecca noticed nothing. She was too busy being stressed about work. Phase 2, digital forensics. Owen helped me extract the full edit history from the Notion workspace. Every keystroke, every timestamp, every revision. Who wrote what and when. Then we accessed Rebecca's Google Calendar. I'd had emergency access since she was hospitalized 2 years ago, forgot to revoke it. Her team drinks entries lined up perfectly with hotel charges on our credit card. 47 instances of late work nights that were actually hotel stays with Alex. Owen asked, "This is lawyer-grade evidence. You could just divorce her quietly and take everything." I said, "That's not enough. They need to feel it." Phase 3, building alliances. I started with Maggie, Rebecca's older sister. She had always seemed skeptical of Rebecca's perfect marriage Instagram posts. I invited her to coffee, showed her the evidence. She wasn't surprised. I knew she was lying about something. "She's been weird since your dad died." Maggie agreed to help. "She's my sister, but this is fucked up. You don't destroy family like this." Her role, feed me intel from family gatherings, confirm Rebecca's lies. Next, I anonymously tipped off Rebecca's boss about misuse of company resources, provided timestamps showing client meetings that were actually hotel visits. Diane started monitoring Rebecca's performance, created a documented trail of underperformance. Then I contacted Alex's landlord. I'd co-signed his lease, so I had legal standing. The lease had a no unapproved long-term guests clause. Security cameras in the hallway showed Rebecca entering and leaving regularly. The landlord agreed to provide footage if I needed it, every piece falling into place. Phase 4, the reverse honeypot. This is where it got dark. I started being more loving to Rebecca. Brought her flowers, planned date nights, told her, "I've been thinking about Austin. You might be right." In the Notion workspace, Rebecca commented to Alex, "He's being so sweet lately. I almost feel bad. Almost." Alex replied, "Just means the $250K is locked in. Keep playing along." They thought they were manipulating me. They had no idea I was reading every word in real time. Phase 5, the birthday trip, November 11th through 14th, my 30th birthday. I suggested a romantic weekend in Bend. Rebecca loved the idea, thought she was gathering final intel. During the trip, I was perfect, affectionate, talked about our future, mentioned wanting kids. She even cried, fake tears. "I'm so lucky to have you." At night, while she slept, I went through her phone, found texts with Alex. "He's talking about getting me pregnant. We need to move the timeline up. File for divorce in January, not February." I took screenshots of everything. On the drive home, she said, "This weekend reminded me why I married you." I smiled, kissed her hand, and thought about December 15th. Phase 6, legal preparation. I met with a divorce attorney, filed for legal separation to establish a timeline, prepared an injunction to freeze joint assets, documented Rebecca's planned false abuse claims with counter-evidence showing premeditation. The attorney asked, "What about your brother? This will destroy your family." I said, "They already did that." Phase 7, the anniversary video. Rebecca had invited 73 people to Higgins Restaurant. Upscale private room, full dinner service. The guest list included my mom, Rebecca's parents, college friends, work colleagues, extended family, and Alex. Of course, Alex. Here's what I planned. An anniversary video to play during dessert. First 2 minutes, sweet montage of our relationship. Everyone would think it's normal. Minute 3, screen shifts to Notion workspace screenshots. Minutes 4 through 7, full timeline, comments, financial conspiracy, photos from their Our Real Life album. Final screen, Rebecca and Alex. This is what betrayal looks like. Everyone else, I'm sorry you had to see this, but you deserve to know who they really are. Owen helped me create it, rendered in 4K. Backed up in 3 locations. The final countdown, December 11th through 14th, 4 days out. I maintained the charade flawlessly, helped Rebecca pick her dress. You'll look beautiful, confirmed with the restaurant. Video plays at 7:45 p.m. during dessert course. Don't stop it no matter who asks. I wrote letters to my mom and Rebecca's parents, to be delivered after the party. December 13th, 11 p.m., I had a panic attack in my car. What if this is too much? What if I'm the villain? I called Owen. Maybe I should just cancel, divorce quietly. Owen said, they were going to frame you for abuse, steal your inheritance, destroy your reputation. You're not the villain, Daniel. You're just the first one to tell the truth. Every project has dependencies. Tomorrow I break all of theirs. I didn't sleep that night, not from doubt, from anticipation. December 15th, 2024, Sunday, our 5-year anniversary. I arrived at Higgins Restaurant at 2 p.m., 3 hours early, met with the AV tech. The video plays at exactly 7:45. Don't stop it no matter who asks. He looked confused. Is this like a surprise thing? You have no idea. I gave him $200 cash. Even if my wife tells you to stop, keep playing. Understood? He nodded. I sat in my car outside the restaurant, practiced breathing exercises, texted Owen. It's happening, no turning back. Owen, you got this. I'm here if you need me after. 5:30 p.m. Guests started arriving. Rebecca and I greeted them at the entrance. She looked stunning. Red dress, hair perfect, makeup flawless. She whispered to me, 5 years down, forever to go. I said, forever, absolutely. My smile felt like a death mask. Alex arrived at 6, hugged me. Congrats, big bro. You two are couple goals. I watched them carefully avoid eye contact. Too obvious now that I knew. Dinner was served at 6:30. I stood up and gave a toast. To my beautiful wife, who taught me that love is about trust, and to all of you, for being here to celebrate trust tonight. Glasses clinked. Rebecca kissed me. My mom was crying. You two restore my faith in marriage. 7:15. Dessert course. Rebecca stood up, tapping her glass. I have a little surprise for Daniel. We're going to watch a video I made, a tribute to our journey. I acted surprised. Babe, you didn't have to... Shh, just watch. The irony, Rebecca thought she'd arranged the video, had no idea I'd swapped it. The lights dimmed, the projector screen descended. My heart was pounding so hard I thought people could hear it. 7:45. The video started. Sweet montage, our first date, wedding photos, honeymoon in Hawaii, buying the house, soft music, our wedding song. Guests smiled, some wiped happy tears. Rebecca squeezed my hand. I love this song, I said quietly. Wait for it. 7:47. The music cut. Screen went black. White text appeared. But here's what you didn't see. Nervous laughter from some guests. Rebecca whispered, "What is this? Did you add something?" I said, "No, you did." 7:48. The Notion workspace screenshots filled the screen. Project Phoenix in huge letters. The Gantt chart timeline. Affair began August 2023. Daniel's father dies. Opportunity, April 2024. Inheritance secured, July 2024. Divorce filing, February 2025. Gasps from around the room. Someone said, "What the fuck?" Rebecca stood up. "Stop the video." The AV tech kept playing. The screen shifted to comment threads. Alex, your brother's controlling. He deserves this. Rebecca, I'm only staying until we get the money. My mom's voice shaking. Daniel, what is this? I stayed calm, cold. Keep watching, Mom. 7:52. Photos from their Our Real Life album. Rebecca and Alex kissing. Rebecca wearing my grandmother's necklace in Alex's bed. Timestamp, October 3rd, 2024. Maggie stood up. Rebecca, you fucking didn't... Rebecca was crying, trying to run. "This is fake. Daniel edited this. He's lying." Alex pointed at me. "You psycho, you can't just," I said, voice steady. "Sit down, Alex. It gets better." 7:54. The financial strategy section appeared. How they planned to steal $250,000. The false abuse documentation. Tasks like cry about wanting kids to manipulate Daniel. A comment from Rebecca to Alex. "Once we're in Austin, we'll never have to see him again, and we'll be rich." The room exploded. Rebecca's mother. "You selfish, disgusting." One of my coworkers. "Jesus Christ, Daniel." Rebecca grabbed for the projector remote. Restaurant staff blocked her. My mom was sobbing. "Alex, how could you? Your father, your brother." Alex defensive. "You don't understand? We're in love. Daniel never..." I stood up, voice rising. "Never what? Never paid for your college? Never gave you a place to live? Never introduced you to my wife?" 7:56, final screen. White text on black. "Rebecca and Alex, you wanted to destroy my life in February. I'm just returning the favor 6 weeks early. To everyone else, I'm sorry you had to witness this. But you all deserve to know the truth. Every project has dependencies. I just broke theirs." Daniel. The screen went black. Lights came up. Total silence for 5 seconds. Then chaos. Rebecca was hysterical. "You ruined everything! You fucking ruined everything!" She lunged at me. Maggie and another guest held her back. Alex tried to approach my mom. "Mom, please, it's not... We didn't mean..." My mom's voice, cold, breaking. "Don't call me that. Don't you ever call me that again." She turned her back on him, walked out. Rebecca's father looked at me. "You could have told us privately," I said, "and let her lie to you like she lied to me for 16 months? He had no response, left with his wife. One by one, people filed out. Some hugged me. "I'm so sorry, man." Some avoided eye contact. Some glared at Rebecca and Alex like they were radioactive. By 8:15, only 5 people remained. Me, Rebecca, Alex, Maggie, and Owen, who'd arrived mid-chaos. Rebecca tried one last manipulation. Mascara streaked down her face. "Daniel, please. We can fix this. I made a mistake. I love you. Please." I pulled divorce papers from my jacket pocket. "You're served. You'll be hearing from my attorney." Dropped them on the table. Walked out. Owen followed. Maggie stayed to babysit. I got to my car, put my head on the steering wheel, and for the first time in 64 days, I cried. Not from sadness, from relief. It was over. Or so I thought. The fallout started immediately. I crashed at Owen's apartment that night. My phone exploded with texts, supportive ones. "You did the right thing." Judgmental ones? That was brutal. Angry ones from Rebecca's friends. "You're an abusive psycho." One text from my mom at 1:47 a.m. "I can't talk to you right now. I need time." I blocked Rebecca and Alex on everything. Couldn't sleep. Kept replaying the video. Rebecca's face when the first screenshot appeared. Alex's voice trying to defend himself. My mom walking out. By December 18th, someone had posted about it on Reddit. Our relationship, that's advice. Title, "Witness the most insane anniversary party revenge ever." It went viral, 47,000 upvotes, 8,000 comments. 60% said I was justified. 30% said I could have handled it privately. 10% called me cruel. I read all 8,000 comments. Some people called me a hero. Others called me a monster. I was starting to think they were both right. The consequences hit like dominoes. Rebecca lost her job on December 17th. Her boss fired her for misuse of company resources. Really, it was because Diane couldn't have this drama attached to our agency. Rebecca's $68,000 a year salary, gone. She'd expected $175,000 in the joint account. Found $25,000, no house. I'd filed legal separation. She had to move out. She moved in with her parents, 28 years old, unemployed, publicly humiliated. Her college friends ghosted her. Maggie refused to speak to her. Her own mother said, "I raised you better than this. I don't know who you are." Alex got destroyed too. His freelance clients dropped him when word spread in Portland's design community. His big startup idea fell apart when investors Googled his name and found the Reddit post. He lost all income, had $800 in savings. His landlord evicted him for lease violations. By December 31st, he had nowhere to live. My mom cut him off completely. Extended family wanted nothing to do with him. On December 20th, Alex left me a voicemail, voice shaking with rage. "You destroyed me. I hope you're fucking happy. I have nothing. This is on you." By December 23rd, Rebecca and Alex had turned on each other. No money, no support. The romance evaporated. Rebecca blamed Alex. "This was your idea. You said he'd never find out." Alex blamed Rebecca. "You got sloppy. You added him to the workspace." They broke up via text. Maggie sent me the screenshots. Rebecca's final message: "We ruined our lives for nothing. I fucking hate you." And then came Christmas Eve. I went to my mom's house to drop off presents. Family tradition. Found her drunk, alone, crying on the kitchen floor, surrounded by photo albums of her boys growing up. She looked up at me, mascara streaked, voice slurring. "You destroyed our family. My son is homeless. My other son is a monster. And it's Christmas Eve, and I'm alone." I tried to explain. "Mom, they destroyed the family. I just exposed it. You could have told me privately. You didn't have to humiliate them in front of everyone. Your father would be ashamed." That line cut deeper than anything. I left without responding, sat in a parking lot for 2 hours, questioning everything. December 26th, Rebecca's mother called me, begged me to drop the divorce. "She made a mistake. She's my daughter. Please." I said, "She planned to frame me for abuse, to steal my father's inheritance. That's not a mistake. That's criminal." She said, "She's had a breakdown. She tried to—" Stopped herself. Tried to what? Nothing. Just, please have mercy. Later, Maggie told me, Rebecca had attempted suicide, overdose on sleeping pills. December 26th, her father found her, rushed her to the ER. Stomach pumped, survived. She was on psychiatric hold. When I heard, I dropped my phone, sat down, couldn't breathe. This was supposed to feel like justice. Instead, I felt like I'd killed someone. December 29th. Owen came over. I was a wreck. She tried to kill herself because of me. Owen said, no, because she destroyed her own life and couldn't face it. I made it public. I humiliated her in front of 73 people. I turned her into a pariah. She was going to do the same to you, worse. She was going to frame you as an abuser. But I'm not her. I'm supposed to be better than that. Long silence. Do you regret it? I don't know. I wanted them to hurt. And they're hurting. But so am I. So is my mom. So is everyone. Owen said quietly, revenge is like that. It's not clean. It's not a movie. It's just destructive for everyone. New Year's Eve, I stayed home alone, scrolled through old photos, me, Rebecca, Alex, and my dad. Reread my father's last words. Take care of your brother, build a family. I didn't take care of anyone. I burned it all down. There was no family left. I wrote in my journal, I got my revenge, I destroyed them. But I also destroyed us, and I don't know if that makes me the victim or the villain. Maybe both. Every project has dependencies. I broke theirs. But I also broke mine, and I didn't know how to rebuild. That's when I realized revenge doesn't end when you get it. It just keeps going, and you have to live with what you've done. January came. I started therapy. Dr. Evelyn Cross, recommended by Owen. First session, I told her everything. She asked, what do you want from therapy? I said, I want to know if I'm a bad person. That's not a question I can answer, but we can explore what you did, why you did it, and how you live with it now. In our third session, something clicked. I was so focused on control, I said. Controlling the revenge, the timeline, the outcome. I forgot I can't control how other people feel, or what they do to themselves. Dr. Cross nodded. You can't project manage grief. February. I tried to reconcile with my mom. Visited her after 6 weeks of silence. She was calmer, but distant. I'm trying to forgive you, she said. But every time I close my eyes, I see Alex's face in that restaurant. And I think about your father, and how this would have broken his heart. It broke mine too, Mom, every day. I know, But you chose to break everyone else's too. We didn't hug, but she didn't ask me to leave. Small progress. By March, we were having coffee once a week. Awkward, but trying. The divorce finalized in March. Daniel and Rebecca never spoke again. Everything through attorneys. I kept the house, the inheritance, retirement accounts. She got $15,000 in her car. No alimony. The affair and fraud attempt gave me leverage. Rebecca moved to Seattle. Fresh start. I learned through Maggie. She was in therapy, working retail, trying to rebuild. I felt empty, not satisfied, just empty. April. I got a letter from Alex, handwritten, 4 pages. He acknowledged the betrayal. What I did was unforgivable. Didn't ask for forgiveness, just said, "I'm trying to understand why I became the person who could hurt you like that. I don't have answers yet, but I wanted you to know I'm trying." I read it 10 times, discussed it with Dr. Cross. "Do you want a relationship with him again?" "No, not now, maybe not ever, but I don't hate him anymore. I'm just sad." I didn't reply to the letter, but I kept it. Work became my anchor. I got promoted to Director of Project Management in April, used my skills for good, mentored junior PMs, improved processes. Coworkers noticed I was different, more guarded, but also more empathetic. Jessica, a colleague who'd also been through divorce, became a friend. Over lunch one day, she asked, "How do you know when you're ready to trust again?" I said, "I don't know." "You don't," she said. "You just try and hope." I started building new routines, adopted a dog, golden retriever, named him Copper, started hiking on weekends, forest park trails, took a cooking class, something Rebecca had always mocked me for wanting. Read books on betrayal, forgiveness, boundaries, journaled daily. Healing isn't linear. Some days I'm okay, some days I'm furious, some days I just miss having a family. May, breakthrough in therapy. Dr. Cross asked, "If you could go back to October 12th, knowing everything you know now, Rebecca's attempt, your mother's pain, the fallout, would you still do the anniversary reveal?" Long pause. I don't know. Part of me says yes because they needed consequences. Part of me says no because the collateral damage was too high. "That ambiguity," she said, "that's growth. You're not justifying or regretting. You're accepting that it was messy and complicated." I started crying. I just wanted them to hurt like I hurt. I didn't think about what came after. She leaned forward. "Every project has dependencies. Break one and the whole thing collapses." She'd read my journal. "You broke their dependencies, but you also broke yours. Now you're rebuilding. And that's okay." June, Jessica set me up on a date. Her friend Lauren, graphic designer, 29, coffee at a cafe in Hawthorne. It was awkward, but nice. Lauren asked, "So, rough divorce?" I laughed. That's the understatement of the year. At the end of the date, she said, "I had a good time. Want to do this again?" I hesitated. "I'm not really ready for anything serious." "That's okay," she said. "Let's just be uncertain together." I agreed to a second date. I didn't feel sparks, but I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Hope. Now. June 2025, 6 months after the anniversary party. Rebecca's living in Seattle, working at a nonprofit, dating someone new, trying to move on. She texted me once, "I'm sorry, I know that doesn't fix anything, but I am." I didn't respond. Alex is in Eugene, working at a print shop, freelancing on weekends, not in contact with my mom or me. According to friends, he's sober now, quiet, keeps to himself. My mom sees me once a month for coffee, still grieving the loss of both sons. Told me last week, "I'm trying to understand, but I'm not there yet." I'm okay with that. I'm still in therapy, monthly maintenance sessions, dating Lauren casually, taking it slow, promoted at work, financially stable, moved out of the old house, too many memories, renting a loft downtown now, have a small, close group of friends, quality over quantity. Yesterday was the anniversary of my father's death. I visited his grave alone, brought flowers, sat on the grass, talked to the headstone. "Dad, I don't know if you'd be proud of me. I took care of Alex the only way I knew how, by protecting myself from him. I tried to build a family, but it wasn't built on truth, so it fell apart. I think about your last words a lot. Take care of your brother. I don't think you meant let him destroy you, but I also don't think you meant destroy him back. I'm still figuring out what you meant. I'm okay, Dad. Not great, but okay. And maybe that's enough for now. Last night I opened my old journal from October 12th. Read my own words. I am going to destroy them. Wrote a new entry. I did destroy them, and in the process I destroyed parts of myself too. The part that believed family was sacred. The part that thought revenge would feel good. The part that trusted easily. But I also built something new. Boundaries, self-respect, the knowledge that I won't ever let someone rewrite my reality again. Was it worth it? I don't know. Some days yes, some days no. Most days, I just don't think about it. Rebecca and Alex were dependencies in my life. When I broke them, my whole project collapsed. But maybe that's okay. Maybe some projects are supposed to fail so you can build better ones. Every project has dependencies. I'm learning to build ones that don't require me to sacrifice myself. That's not revenge, that's survival. And for now, that's enough. This morning, Lauren texted, "Hiking this weekend?" I smiled, small, cautious. "Yeah, let's do it." I looked out my window at the Portland skyline. I don't know what comes next, but for the first time in a long time, I'm okay with not knowing. The plan failed, the revenge happened, the family broke, and I'm still here. Still standing. Still learning that closure doesn't mean forgetting. It means carrying the weight without letting it crush you. So, if you're going through something like this, betrayal, revenge, the aftermath, here's what I learned. You can't project manage your way out of grief. You can't plan your way into healing. You just have to live through it, one messy day at a time, and hope that on the other side, you still recognize yourself. I'm Daniel, I'm 30, I'm divorced, I'm estranged from my brother, I'm rebuilding my relationship with my mom. I have a dog and a job and a second date this weekend. And okay, that's my story. Thanks for listening.